There is a kind of woman walking through the world right now, and almost no one has ever taught you how to recognize her. She moves through life unnoticed by 99% of men, and the 1% who can see her do not live the way you live. They never become the man who, 20 years from now, looks at his wife and silently wonders what could have been. Before I give you a single sign, my friend, claim your place in the 1%. Drop 3 words below. I see her now. Not as a comment, as your initiation, tonight, into the brotherhood of men who refuse to live their entire lives blind to the women worth knowing. In the next 15 minutes, I am handing you 6 forbidden signs. Forensic evidence that decodes a woman with untamed desire before she ever speaks to you. And the 6th sign? Almost no one has the discipline to spot it. The 6th sign is what separates the brothers from the boys. If you are still with me, you are exactly where you need to be. Tap the like button, quietly, without thinking, because somewhere out there tonight, another man is sitting alone, blind to the woman across from him. The algorithm only finds him if you tap. Eyes up, phone down, mind open. Because the man you walk out of this video as will see women in a way the man who walked in never could. Let me start, my friend, with the very first signal. The one most men have stared at 1,000 times without ever realizing what they were looking at. She posts her body without apology. Open Instagram right now, scroll for 10 seconds, and pay attention, for the first time in your life, to something you have been ignoring forever. Somewhere on your feed, there is a woman in a short dress, in a bikini at the beach, in a mirror selfie taken half asleep in the morning light, completely at ease inside her own skin. She is not the model. She is not the influencer. She might be 5'3". She might carry weight in places the world spent 20 years teaching her to apologize for. And yet, my friend, there she is, posting anyway. Most men misread this completely. They think confidence means a perfect body. Here is the kicker. It is the opposite. A woman who posts her body without apology, regardless of how that body looks, is signaling something most men spend their entire lives missing. She is signaling that her appetite for physical pleasure was never tied to other people's approval of her. Most women only post when the world has confirmed their worth. Their confidence is borrowed. Their sensuality is rented. The moment the world stops applauding, they cover up. This woman is different. She has been physical with herself, alone, for years. She has known her own body's hunger long before any camera was ever pointed at her. She built that relationship in private, in front of a mirror nobody else was watching, and the photographs you keep scrolling past are simply the visible result of a private conversation that has been happening between her and her own body for a very long time. The bikini photo isn't a thirst trap, my friend. It's a leak. A leak from a woman whose physical self has been alive and active far more intensely than the women around her have ever allowed themselves to be. If this is the first time anyone has explained this to you, drop 1 word in the comments below. Spotted. Save this video while you're at it, because what I'm about to show you next will haunt you the next time you scroll through your contacts. Have you ever wondered, my friend, why a specific kind of woman seems to have men quietly circling her, co-workers who get a little too close, old friends with stories that never made sense, a man at the gym who keeps running into her? Because the second signal isn't something she does at all. It's something the world does around her. Now listen carefully, my friend, because this one will reframe every woman you have ever known. Spend enough time around a woman whose appetite runs at this frequency, and you will start noticing something strange about her life. She doesn't have simple friendships with men. There is always a story, almost always the same kind of story, an old best friend who eventually confessed feelings she had to manage, and he is rarely the only one. There is a long, quiet history of men who could not keep things platonic with her, no matter how clearly she drew the line. She'll mention it casually, almost laughing it off. But the pattern keeps repeating itself, friend group after friend group, job after job, year after year. And here is the part nobody has the courage to say out loud. Women whose physical drive runs at this volume do not experience neutral friendships with men. The men around her do not stay neutral. It is not her fault, my friend. It is not theirs. It is biology. A nervous system this charged broadcasts on a frequency most men cannot consciously hear, but every man in her life is unconsciously responding to. He lingers longer in conversations. He invents excuses to be near her without knowing why. And one day, eventually, the dam breaks and he says something he can never take back. Other women collect a story like this once or twice in a lifetime. She has a graveyard. And here's the kicker, my friend. This pattern is one of the most reliable forensic signals you will ever learn, because she cannot fake it, hide it, or perform it. It writes itself across her life, whether she wants it to or not. And once you know it exists, you cannot unsee it. Want the test? The next time you are getting to know a woman, ask one simple question. Do you have a lot of guy friends? Watch what happens before she even answers. The dangerous truth lives in that pause, the small breath she takes while she is deciding which version of her life to tell you. That breath, my friend, is the second sign. If this is reframing women you have known your entire life, tap the like button right now. Not for me, for the brother behind you who hasn't woken up yet. But here is where it gets darker. Because something even more revealing about this kind of woman has nothing to do with the men around her at all, and everything to do with what she does when no one is watching. Pay close attention now, my friend, because this is the sign almost no one has ever taught you to read. She travels alone. Most men scroll past her solo travel photos and think nothing of it. A trip is a trip. A vacation is a vacation. That is the mistake of a lifetime, because the woman whose appetite runs hotter than the women around her is the woman who can disappear by herself into a country no one understood why she chose and come back more alive than when she left. Here's the part that will stop you cold. Most women cannot do this, not because they are weak, but because being alone with themselves makes them uncomfortable in a way they cannot fully name. The silence becomes loud. The empty hotel room becomes a mirror. They need company to keep from meeting the version of themselves who lives just beneath the surface. This woman seeks that version of herself out, deliberately, with a plane ticket and an empty week ahead of her. Because a woman who has built an intimate relationship with her own pleasure does not fear her own company. She has been her own most interesting lover for years. Solitude does not drain her, my friend. It feeds her. A woman who travels alone is signaling something deeper than independence. She is signaling that her relationship with her own body, her own appetites, her own private pleasures, has been the longest love affair of her life. And the man who eventually earns access to her is not entering an empty room. He is being invited into a fire that has been burning completely on its own long before he ever knocked on the door. If something just clicked inside you, drop 2 words below. Now I know. Now tell me honestly, my friend, have you ever scrolled past a woman's solo travel photos, swiped past her, and never once realized what kind of woman you were looking at? Type her name in the comments even just initials, if you can suddenly remember her. Because the next sign reveals itself in something even smaller, something so subtle you may have already received it from her, without ever realizing what she was actually trying to tell you. Now I want you to look at her messages, my friend, and notice something almost no one has ever taught you to see. The woman whose physical drive runs hot does not ask for what she wants directly. She leaves openings. Watch closely the next time she is writing to you. There will be a moment in the middle of an ordinary conversation where she drops something into the thread that does not belong there. A half-finished memory, a reference she leaves trailing, a small confession about her body, a question with no setup that has no business being asked between two people who are supposedly just talking. These are not accidents. These are doors. Doors she is opening, quietly, deliberately, to see who notices what she just did. And here is the kicker, my friend. A woman whose appetite runs at this volume cannot help leaving these doors open. Her body has been holding more than her words allow her to say, so her sentences quietly leak it. A part of her is always testing. Every single time she texts a man, whether he can read the layer underneath what she literally wrote. The doors she leaves are tiny, a single sentence, a trailing thought, a line dropped between two unrelated paragraphs. She doesn't say, "I want you to want me." She says something completely ordinary with one word out of place. And in that one word, that single deliberately misplaced word, she is broadcasting her appetite to any man capable of hearing it. Here is what will stop you cold tonight. The women you remember most strongly, the ones whose names still surface in your mind years later, are almost always the ones who texted you this way. Their messages stayed in your head longer. Their sentences felt heavier than they should have. There was something about her writing that made you reread messages you didn't fully understand, because part of you sensed the door, even if your conscious mind couldn't name it. If this is finally explaining things you have felt for years but never had words for, drop one word below: felt. And while you're at it, save this video, because the next sign reveals itself in conversations you have already had with her and never realized what was being said. Lean into something now, my friend, something almost no one has ever told you to listen for. Pay attention to what captures her attention in conversation. Most women, when they are around a heavy topic, edit themselves. They lower their voice. They change the subject. They steer the conversation back towards something safer, lighter, easier to digest. The woman whose appetite runs at this frequency does not. When the conversation drifts into dark territory, a story about an affair, a moment of grief, a documentary about obsession, a true crime case, a confession, a betrayal, her face changes, her body stills, her eyes lock onto the speaker. She does not politely wait for the topic to pass. She leans in. She is the one who asks the next question, the one whose follow-up is sharper, more specific, more uncomfortable than anyone else at the table dares to ask. She wants the unvarnished version. She wants the parts that were edited out. She wants the truth most people in the room are silently begging the speaker to soften. And here, my friend, is the part nobody has the courage to name. Her appetite for forbidden topics is not separate from her appetite for forbidden experiences. They are the same fire. A nervous system tuned to crave intensity does not draw a line between physical and intellectual. The same internal hunger that pulls her toward heavy stories pulls her toward heavy living. And the woman who is at home in a dark conversation has always been the same woman who is at home in dark experiences her quieter friends have spent their whole lives avoiding. You have probably already known a woman like this. The one whose curiosity scared the men around her a little. The one who asked questions other women would not. The one who wanted the real answer, not the polite one. So tell me, my friend, in the comments below, what was the darkest thing a woman has ever asked you that you still think about? Because there is one final sign, the deepest, the rarest, the most overlooked of them all. The sign almost nobody has ever connected to what we have been talking about tonight. And once you see it, you will never look at a quiet evening the same way again. This is the final sign, my friend, the one almost no one has the discipline to spot. Watch when she comes alive. Most people are at their fullest in the daylight. They wake up, perform, work, socialize, and by midnight they are dimming, fading, surrendering to sleep. The woman whose appetite runs hotter than the women around her is not built that way. She comes alive after dark. The hours other people sleep through are the hours she does her deepest thinking. The world goes quiet, and inside her, something ancient wakes up. She writes her most honest words after midnight. She reads books in bed at 1 in the morning. She drinks her wine slow in the dark hours with music playing low. She is in no rush to fall asleep. She is stretching the night out, savoring it, because something in her body refuses to let the day end the way other people end theirs. Here is the kicker, my friend. A nervous system this charged does not relax in the daylight. The world is too loud. There are too many eyes, too much noise to perform around. But at night, when the world finally goes silent, her body stops performing and starts feeling. The hunger that lives quietly in her during the day grows louder in the dark. Her mind sharpens, her senses wake up. The version of herself she keeps hidden from the daytime world steps fully into the room. This is why men who know how to recognize her know that the most honest version of her cannot be reached at noon, not at brunch, not over coffee in a sunlit cafe. She is at her most real after midnight. The woman you have been searching for your entire life has been alive in the dark hours all along, waiting for a man whose nighttime is as awake as hers. Now tell me below, in one sentence, describe her, the woman in your life, past or present, who only ever seemed fully herself after dark. Tell me what she did. Tell me how she changed, because her name might already be sitting in the back of your mind right now, and you finally know what she was. So now you know, my friend, 6 forbidden signs, 6 pieces of forensic evidence almost nobody has ever taught you to read. The woman who posts her body without apology, the woman every man around her quietly orbits, the woman who travels into solitude alone, the woman whose appetite leaks into how she texts, the woman who leans into the dark conversations other women edit, and the woman who only fully awakens after midnight, when the world has finally gone quiet enough for her to be herself. These signs do not lie. They cannot be performed. They cannot be faked. They are the slow, quiet leaks of a nervous system built at a higher volume than the women around her, visible to any man with the eyes to see them. And here is the truth I want you to walk out of this video carrying. She is already in your life somewhere, on your feed, in your memory, in a name you haven't thought about in years. The only question, my friend, is whether the man you have been was the man capable of seeing her. Starting tonight, you are. Tap the like button if this video reached somewhere inside you that no other video ever has. Quietly, without thinking, because somewhere out there tonight, another man is scrolling past her, for the last time, if you do. Subscribe to walk this road further. What I will teach you in the next videos will reshape the eyes you walk through life with, until missing her becomes impossible, and being chosen by her becomes inevitable. Now, Go look at the world differently. The woman has been there all along, waiting.